Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So I want to talk about a few stocks that I'm watching right now that are related to the solar industry. DQ is one of them, Run is another, and Plug is another. These companies are all great solar plays. They're all related to this Biden-Harris administration, and the reason that I feel that they can continue to surge is because the Democrats are obviously very interested in green energy, and there's a global push for renewable and clean energy. And for that reason, a lot of these stocks have exposure to the solar space, and even to the EV space as well, to electric vehicles and this push for electric. So you can see that after hours last night, DQ pushed up quite drastically. DQ is a solar play. They make solar panels and the hydrogen cells for different EV makers. It jumped up about 11% after hours. I'm actually a shareholder of DQ. I took some position off the table here after hours. I just closed out about 70% of my position. Why? Because this has ran up quite a bit after hours, 11%. It's getting a bit overextended. If I take a look at the 4-hour time frame, it finally broke out past resistance right here at about the $67 mark, and it's pushed up quite drastically. The RSI is starting to top 80 on the relative strength indicator or index, and the MACD is starting to level out up here at 76.40. So I have reason to believe that this is going to experience a bit of a pullback here, especially because it's rising after hours, and it might get another 1% or 2%, but I feel comfortable locking in profit and taking some off the table here, and then waiting for a pullback to get back in as it finds support off of the EMA and the SMA on the 4-hour time frame, or on a smaller time frame like the 30-minute time frame right here. I might be looking here near 70 to buy back in, but I really like it more towards the $68 if it pulls back here, finds support off of this very nice resistance, which is now a support line because it's broken through that resistance. I'd be looking to re-enter here around the $68 mark. I do feel like DQ has a lot of potential here to continue to surge if you're looking at it from a swing trader or a long-term investment standpoint. I think that their business model is incredible. They actually produce the solar panels and the equipment and the hydrogen battery cells for these different EV and solar companies. So obviously they have a incredible model when it relates to green energy and solar. They have a lot of exposure to that space, and for that reason, I think that DQ is a fantastic company long term. Their market cap is only $4.5 billion, and obviously relating to other companies, $4.5 billion is a very small market cap, and there's a lot of room for this thing to run even higher. Now, another company is Run. They are very similar to DQ. Run is actually a more of a domestic solar company within the United States. They provide solar panels for solar installation companies. So they're actually the provider of these solar panels. They are the manufacturers, and they actually distribute them as well intra United States or domestically. So obviously Run is another solar play. You can see the same thing. There was news last night about green energy from the Biden administration, and for that reason there's a massive push upwards after hours on all of these different solar plays. So keep an eye on Run. Run is a fantastic company as well. They have really surged this year to date. If you look at it back in the early part of the year, or this past year in 2020, they've gone up about 430% over the course of this year. So obviously a great company that's already run up quite a bit. It's finally broken out after this small consolidation period that it experienced around December, and I think that it can start pushing to new all-time highs as we experience this transition in January to the Biden administration, the Biden-Harris administration, and obviously their push towards renewable energy is going to be even stronger than before with other administrations. So that's that. Now let's go to the other one, Plug. Plug is also a solar play. They have exposure to electric vehicles and to solar panels. Plug is another great company that's run up quite drastically over the course of the last 180, 360 days. They are similar in that they provide the same things as Run and DQ. They're all very closely related, and if we look at a 1-minute time frame, you can see the same thing happened last night on Plug. There was quite a pop last night based on news in the EV and solar space. So this ran up about 6% last night. I think today we could actually experience Plug to break out based on the chart. It's actually starting to push above the EMA, and it bounced very hard off of the support line and validated its support. So I think that we can start to see some higher highs here. Obviously, we had a lower low, but it's starting to push upwards, and I think if it breaks out of this resistance right here, it can consolidate, find support at around the $35 mark, and then can continue to push upwards like so. So I'm keeping my eye on Plug. I think that Plug is a great company. The market cap on Plug is relatively low as well, and I think that it can definitely experience continued growth year to date, and also in the short run as well, based on this transition to the Biden-Harris administration. Obviously, all EV and electric, EV and solar stocks are going to experience heightened growth based on the exposure and the attention that EV or that green energy is going to be getting as we face the inauguration of Biden and Harris, and as we transition in their presidency. So these are some stocks that I'm keeping my eye on for this week, the beginning of January. Keep your eye on the Georgia Senate elections. That's very, very important, depending on if the Republicans or the Democrats get the House, or get the seat rather. So let's keep our eyes on that. It's going to determine a lot relating to these different plays. There's going to be a lot of pivots in the market today. And be careful, the S&P 500 could drop very quickly and drastically. So keep your eyes peeled on the VIX. The VIX is going to measure the volatility of the market. You can see on a 1 minute time frame, it's starting to trend downwards, which is good, but it can change very, very quickly. As anyone that tracks the VIX understands, the volatility can quickly change. So keep your eye on the VIX, keep your eye on the SPY, and we'll see what happens today in the markets. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. If you find value, please leave a like and subscribe. I'd really, really appreciate it, and we will see you next time. Cheers.